I'm going to share to Meet the Grandparents.
We are live on Facebook and we'll get started in a little bit. We'll give people a chance to join. All right, we can go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Fun Friday activity is TV theme songs. So I'll give you a little bit about a little description of a TV show, and then I'll play a clip of their intro song, and then I'm looking for the name of that TV show. So we'll go ahead and get started with our first show. If I can click the next screen. So this series aired from 1969 to 1974. The show follows the misadventures of a large blended family with 6 children after a single mom and a widower get married. And I'll play a clip of the intro.
All of them had hair of gold, like their mother, the youngest one in curls. It's the story of a man named Brady, who was busy with 3 boys of his own.
So that is the intro clip. There's an answer on Facebook that says the Partridge Family, and that is not correct. It is not the Partridge Family. And McKenna has it on Facebook. It is the Brady Bunch.
All of them had hair of gold.
All right, up next, this series aired from 1985 to 1992. It followed the lives and interactions of 4 older women who have all been divorced or widowed and are now living together in Miami. And I'll go ahead and play the intro.
Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, you invited everyone you knew.
And we got a correct answer on Facebook. It is the Golden Girls. All right. This show aired in 1964. It was based on a close-knit extended family with macabre interests and supernatural abilities. They are a wealthy and aristocratic bunch, unaware that other people may find them bizarre or frightening. And here is the intro song.
Creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky.
So does anybody know the name of this TV show? And we got 2 answers, both correct. It is we got 3 correct answers, all right, the Addams Family. All right, this American comedy series ran from 1960 to 1968. Widower Sheriff Andy Taylor and his son Opie live with Andy's Aunt Bee in Mayberry, North Carolina, with virtually no crime to solve. Most of Andy's time is spent philosophizing and calming down his cousin, Deputy Barney Fife. And I'll go ahead and play this theme song. Here we go. We have 2 answers on Facebook. Both are wrong, however. It is not Mayberry RFD or RFD. I'll play it again. So this one is actually the Andy Griffith Show. There, Carlene got it. All right, here's our next show. In this show, the 2-man crew of the charter boat SS Minnow and 5 passengers on a 3-hour tour from Honolulu run into a typhoon and are shipwrecked on an uncharted island somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. And this show aired in 1964. And here we have their theme song, or their intro.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour.
And we have 2 correct answers on Facebook. Both are Gilligan's Island. Gilligan's Island. All right, up next. In this 1959 television series, each episode presents a standalone story in which characters find themselves dealing with disturbing or unusual events. So here is the intro for that.
There is a 5th dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge.
And we got a correct answer on Facebook. It is the Twilight Zone. I actually just watched an episode of this with it was the episode on a plane with some creature on the wing. And if you liked the Twilight Zone, there's a new series similar to that called The Black Mirror. I think it's on Netflix, and it's the same idea of the 1 episode storyline and just weird events. So that is the Twilight Zone. Up next, this popular series was an animated television cartoon. It featured 2 Stone Age families who coexist with dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures, and it aired from 1960 to 1966. And my mom claims that this is the only cartoon that she ever liked. So here it is.
From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of his story. Let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of Fritz and Pete. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time, a dabba do time. We'll have a gay old time.
And we have all correct answers on Facebook. It is the Flintstones. Does anybody remember the name of the other family? Let us know in the comments. We'll test your knowledge on that. Yep, Carlene knew it. It was the Rubbles, their neighbors. All right, up next, we have from 1979 to 1985, this show centered around cousins Bo and Luke Duke and their car General Lee, assisted by cousin Daisy and Uncle Jesse, having a running battle with the authorities in Hazard County. And here is the intro, or a clip of it.
Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves, flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get 'em, but the law never will.
And we got all correct answers on Facebook again. You guys are good. It is the Dukes of Hazzard. All right, this one. Lucy is naive and ambitious with an undeserved zeal for stardom and a knack for getting herself and her best friend Ethel into the funniest predicaments. This sitcom ran from 1951 to 1957. And I think I've actually seen every episode of this show because my aunt used to have all of the VCR tapes. And here is the intro. And the correct answer is on Facebook. It's I Love Lucy. I specifically remember an episode at a sushi restaurant. I think they were trying to make all the sushi, and then one of them just starts eating all of it because they can't get it done fast enough. Up next, we have a show set in Milwaukee, Wisconsin during the 50s and 60s. This show presented an idealized view of post-World War II middle-class America, seen largely through the perspective of high school student Richie Cunningham and his pal Potsy. Here is the intro.
By gray sky, hello blue. There's nothing can hold me when I hold you. It feels so right, it can't be wrong. Rocking and rolling all week long.
And we got an answer on Facebook. That is correct. It is Happy Days. Here's our next series. This American educational TV series combines live action, sketch comedy, animation, and puppetry. Aside from teaching kids how to count and spell, this series has taught lessons that go far beyond academic. And it is a show still running today. And here is the intro.
Sunny day, sweeping the clouds away. On my way to where the air is free. Get to tell me how to get.
And yep, we do have a correct answer. We have a few correct answers. It is Sesame Street. And they still use that song, I believe. For this series, the host of this show is Fred Rogers. He explores various topics with his young viewers through presentations and music, both in his world and in the neighborhood of make-believe. The show debuted in 1968 and its final episode aired in 2001. And I think there's actually a new movie with Tom Hanks about this show. I'll go ahead and play the intro, and I'm sure everyone will get it.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
And we do have a correct answer, and if you don't know what it is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And I believe the name of the movie with Tom Hanks is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So if anybody's seen that, let us know how it is. All right, this 1959 American Western follows the adventures of Ben Cartwright and his 3 sons, each born to a different wife of Ben's, as they run and defend their 1,000 square mile Nevada ranch. So an American Western, and I'll go ahead and play the intro. We'll see if anybody can get it right. And we have a correct answer on Facebook. It is Bonanza. All right, this series chronicles the professional and personal life of Rob Petrie, a young comedy writer for the fictitious Alan Brady Show. Viewers are given an inside look at how a television show is written and produced, and it ran from 1961 to 1966.
Rosemary, Maury Amsterdam, Larry Matthews, and Mary Tyler Moore.
And where I see we already have a correct answer, it is the Dick Van Dyke Show. Up next, we have a comedy series that first aired in 1966, and it follows the adventures of 4 young men trying to make a name for themselves as a rock and roll band. And if Kelly is watching this later, I know she mentioned watching this show as a child. Here is the intro.
We're too busy singing to put anybody down. We're just trying to be friendly. I'll come and watch, sing and play. We're the young generation, and we got something to say.
And we have a correct answer. It is the Monkees. All right, this one is a bit newer. I think it ran into the 2000s. In this series, 20-year-old Will Smith plays a teen from a tough neighborhood in West Philadelphia, whose mother, fearing for her son's safety and ability to grow in an underserviced Black community, sends him to live with their wealthy relatives in Bel Air, California. And here is the intro.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised, on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air."
And we have 3 correct answers on Facebook, and they all say The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So you guys are all correct. Okay, here we have another Western drama. It is set in and around Dodge City, Kansas in the 1870s during the settlement of the American West. The central character is lawman Marshall Matt Dillon, and this show ran from 1952 to 1961. And it is the second longest running American Western, the second longest. We'll see if anybody can get this one right. Here is the intro. We had some quick answers on this one before I even played the intro theme song, and they are all correct. It is Gunsmoke, the second longest running Western. All right, this show is set during World War II and centers around a group of Allied prisoners of war who use a German prisoner of war camp as a base of operations for sabotage and espionage purposes directed against Nazi Germany. And this one I think is on every night. I'm not sure what channel, but I know my dad watches it about every night. So here's the intro. And two correct answers again. It is Hogan's Heroes. All right, we're getting close to the end. I think we have a few more shows left. This 1965 series follows the story of a New York City attorney and his wife as they attempt to live as farmers in the bizarre community of Hooterville. And here is the intro.
Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
New York is where I'd rather stay. I get allergic smelling hay. I just adore a penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
And all correct answers again. It is Green Acres. I think that was actually our last show. You can catch us here in the Silver Linings Facebook group every weekday for a different activity at 10:30. On Mondays, we host Mindful Monday with just some different discussion-based conversation. On Tuesday, we have a live concert with Carlene at 10:30 again. On Wednesday, we host Writing Wednesday with journaling and legacy prompts. Thursday is Travel Thursday on site at various locations around Iowa and also around the world through presentations and slideshows. And then every Friday you can catch us here again for Fun Friday. Next week is October, so yeah, we'll be starting some different spooky and Halloween themed trivia on Fridays. And thank you again to anybody joining us on Facebook, and we'll see you next week.